Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The sound of breaking glass sliced through the silence before I even realized my hand had moved. The wine glass lay shattered across the floor, red liquid bleeding into the white rug. Across the table, Daniel just stared at me, eyes wide, mouth slightly open, as if he couldn't decide whether to look guilty or offended. "How long?" I asked. My voice was barely a whisper, but it cracked the air between us like thunder. He didn't answer. His jaw clenched, his fingers tightened around the edge of the chair. The only sound was the faint ticking of the kitchen clock. I could smell the burnt garlic from the dinner he'd cooked, his favorite, not mine. The irony twisted in my chest. I repeated, "How long, Daniel?" His lips trembled, then steadied. "It's not what you think." That was the moment something inside me snapped. Those words, the oldest, weakest defense in the world, made me realize it was exactly what I thought. Maybe worse. 2 hours earlier, I had been scrolling through our shared tablet while waiting for him to get home. A notification appeared from an unfamiliar name. "See you soon. Same room." The message came with a heart emoji. I shouldn't have opened it, but instinct pulled me toward the truth I'd been avoiding for months. Inside was a string of messages, familiar enough to burn me alive. The kind of words that once belonged to us. I had read them all. Every touch, every lie, every promise. Now, looking at him across the table, I couldn't decide if I hated him or myself more. "Not what I think," I said, choking on a laugh that didn't sound human. "Then explain it. Explain how someone named Mila knows what color your bedsheets are." He rubbed his temples, closing his eyes for a second. "It was just, I don't know, a mistake." I leaned forward. "A mistake that lasted how long?" He hesitated. The silence stretched until it was unbearable. 6 months, he finally said. I felt the world tilt, as if gravity had shifted. The walls seemed to close in, the lights too bright, the air too thick. 6 months. Half a year of smiles, dinners, and kisses on my forehead while he was living a second life behind my back. I walked to the window, staring at the dark street outside. A drizzle tapped softly against the glass. The quiet made everything louder in my head. When did I stop being enough? I asked. He looked up. It wasn't about that. You were, enough. I just felt disconnected. I turned toward him. Disconnected. My voice rose, trembling. So, you decided to find connection in someone else's bed. His eyes filled with something that looked like shame but came too late to mean anything. I didn't plan for it to happen. You were always busy, distant. I cut him off. Don't you dare blame this on me. The rain outside turned heavier, streaking down the glass like tears. I pressed my palm against the cold pane, trying to steady myself. I wanted to scream, to cry, to throw something else, but all I felt was exhaustion. He stood and took a step toward me. I'm sorry, Ava. Please. I ended it weeks ago. I swear it's over. Then why did she text you today? He froze. His mouth opened, then closed again. That silence was all the answer I needed. I laughed quietly. It wasn't bitterness anymore. It was release. You don't even bother to lie well. He looked desperate now. Ava, please, I love you. I made a mistake, but I can fix this. We can fix this. I stared at him, studying the face I'd once known better than my own. The same face that had kissed me goodnight, told me I was his world, promised me forever. And now, all I could see were cracks running through every word, every memory. Something inside me went calm, eerily calm. I walked past him, picked up my phone, and scrolled to the last message she had sent. I turned the screen toward him. Call her, I said. What? Call her. Put it on speaker. He shook his head. Ava, please, don't. Do it. He hesitated, then slowly dialed the number. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times. Then a soft, familiar voice answered. Hey, babe. Missed you already. The world seemed to stop. Daniel's face drained of color. He fumbled to end the call, but I caught his wrist, forcing the phone against the table. The voice on the other end asked, "Daniel? You there?" I whispered, "Now she knows." Then I let go. He ended the call in silence. The kitchen smelled of smoke from the candle that had burned too long. I blew it out, leaving us in dim light. "You wanted to know why I don't want you anymore," I said finally. My voice was steady, almost gentle. "Because I don't know who you are. Because you made every memory between us feel fake. Because when I look at you now, I feel nothing but the echo of someone I used to love." He took a step closer, eyes wet. "Ava, please, don't say that." I looked at him, and for a brief second, I pitied him. The way people pity the ruins of something once beautiful. "You broke something that can't be fixed," I said. "You want forgiveness, but you can't unmake the betrayal. You can't unring the bell." I picked up my keys. His voice followed me to the door, soft, broken. "Where will you go?" I paused, my hand on the doorknob. "Somewhere I can start over. Somewhere I don't have to pretend I'm not drowning." Then I opened the door and stepped out into the rain. The cold drops hit my face, washing away the tears I hadn't realized were falling. Behind me, I heard him call my name, but I didn't turn back. The sound faded with each step I took. As I reached the end of the driveway, I looked up at the night sky. The storm clouds parted just enough to reveal a sliver of moonlight. For the first time in months, I felt the faint, trembling pulse of freedom. I whispered to myself, he wanted to know why I didn't want him anymore. Now he does. And then I walked away, letting the rain erase the last trace of the woman who once waited for him to come home.